In 2025, the Western modern woman has proven to be the most chronically immature generations of women the world has ever seen.
I didn't know Lil Durk was still locked up. With that being said, it's free Lil Durk. Why? Because he is responsible for quite possibly one of the biggest spiritual awakenings of my life. I'm not kidding. About a year ago today, almost roughly, Drake came to town and Lil Durk opened for him. And I remember Lil Durk came out and my mom was sitting right next to me and she leans over and she was like, "He looks like he smells good."
What?
And I was like, he does. Like, he really did. Weird.
Would I be wrong to assume that there might be a generational cycle of single motherhood based on the fact that her mom is with her at a Lil Durk concert? Lil Durk, the Chirac Savage, recently arrested for hiring ninjas to assassinate other ninjas. This chick could be 18 and her mama could have had her at 12 and she's still too old to say some goofy shit like, "He looks like he smells good." No, he looks like he smells like weed and death.
And literally the whole night I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I a Lil Durk fan? Like, I couldn't name you one Lil Durk song, honestly.
Stop the cap.
Still to this day, I couldn't name one song.
Stop the cap.
But he just looked so good. So I remember going home that night and I walked into my apartment and my boyfriend at the time was like, "Hey babe, how was the concert?"
Beta male.
And I was like, "Oh, it was great." Like, in the back of my head, I was like, Lil Durk.
She belongs to the streets.
But literally in the back of my head, I was like, I think our time is up. Like, between me and him, I think our time is up because I feel like I have seen the other side. Like, I've seen that it could be better for me, right?
Right.
So I literally went to bed that night and I had a dream. I had a dream about Lil Durk. Not the dream that Martin Luther King had, right?
She belongs to the streets.
But a dream nonetheless. And so I woke up the next morning and I was like, yeah, you need to pack your stuff. I think it's time to go. I made this big spiel about how, like, yeah, I feel like we're two totally different people, which is true. Like, we really had our issues, like, to be real. But Lil Durk was the catalyst. Like, to this day, Lil Durk opened my eyes. Point blank, period.
You stupid.
So yeah, it's free Lil Durk. Free my boo.
You stupid. You stupid. You stupid.
So she went to a concert all to find out she has the same Jezebelian genocidal attraction to thugs like most black women. Then that childlike brain of hers told her to break up with her boyfriend because she became a groupie at a concert. And before you blame her underdeveloped brain, you gotta explain why her mama is the same. Fellas, this is your reward for being a beta male boyfriend. Hey babe, how was the concert?
Hey babe, how was the concert?
This is why nobody feels sorry for women when they hit 30 and start receiving karmic justice from the F-boys.
I was once told that women lose their value after 30. It literally drops in half.
These ain't opinions. These are facts.
I was 29 and I had 6 months before I turned 30. It was during a podcast with the late Kevin Samuels, and I argued with him. I got pissed off with him. I couldn't help but think about what my boyfriend at the time was thinking because he was a huge Kevin Samuels fan.
My man.
Anyway, today happens to be my 31st birthday. That boyfriend and I broke up.
That's not funny, Proctor.
No, sir.
I got over a year of therapy, started doing music, started doing my own nails, taught myself how to sew so I can better my swimsuit company, started my passion projects of giving back. Honestly, I don't know what value he was referring to. I'm pretty sure it was something about being in the dating marketplace or some bullshit. Let me tell y'all something. I don't give a fuck
Jesus Christ.
what y'all think about my value, because I place value on myself. And for my fellow women out there who are younger than 30, older than 30, or being told that we exist solely to reproduce, fuck that. Your value is what you make it. I don't care how old I am.
Stop the cap.
I care about how old I feel, how old I look, and how wise I'm becoming. Because, baby, with age, I don't hesitate to set boundaries. I know my worth.
I know.
The enemy wants you to think otherwise so you can rush into situations that are not for you.
Buy a dog, die alone.
The truth and reality are two school bullies that like to jump women. Delusion is the fat old security guard that's too slow to save them from that ass whooping. Truth and reality are a part of the FIFO gang, and the leader is Father Time. Y'all better put some respect on their name.
You gonna learn today.
And what's funny is after they fail to convince theyself of the lie, they get on TikTok to try to convince everybody else.
The reason why women lose value after they get to a certain age is because the people that create beauty standards are into kids, if you know what I mean.
That's a damn lie.
So don't worry about getting older. Don't worry about wrinkles. Don't worry about aging. You actually get more beautiful as you get older, and you actually get more options as you get older, not less.
Just call her LSD. That stands for Lord, she's dumb.
The only thing this Jezebel said that was facts is that women get more options as they get older. Yes, quantity over quality. But thanks to delusion, they can focus on the part of the truth that makes them feel good, the quantity part. And then the next step in the Jezebel playbook is to try to shame men for preferring to date younger women by insinuating that they PDF files. This is what happens when they brains fully develop. Is this the quote unquote more mature woman?
Yeah, a little bit.
A woman that sidesteps accountability will make up a reality to justify living vicariously through a lie.
Meanwhile.
Okay, babes, I know that I did a video where I said I feel like nobody should date black men, and a lot of you girlies agree with me, but I will just have to explain myself further again. Once again, I am a black woman who come from black parents, have a black dad and black brothers. But the reason why I genuinely feel like nobody while they're young should date black men is because
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
Sorry, y'all, but when you got a gap in your teeth with an unglued down lace front weave looking like NBA young boy's trans twin, I'm cool. I'm cool.
You know, one thing I don't like is when I hear certain black men, not all, but it's when they say, oh, well, the reason I don't talk to black girls is because when I was younger, they always said I was corny or lame.
Corny kid, right?
Nah. And if you want to date a white girl, by all means, do you. If you want to date a white man, by all means, do you. But you become a COON is when you're not dating them because you like them as a person, but you're only dating them because they're white.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it.
Just like you have a preference, women also have a preference. If you came off a little corny or gave off that weird ass antisocial vibe or awkwardness, she has the right to not want to deal with you. You don't hear non-black people saying, well, I didn't want to talk to Amy because she said I was goofy. No, Brad got himself together, got his appearance up, and now he can talk to Amy.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Be honest with yourself. It wasn't that she treated you poorly. You been wanting to talk to an Amy. Like, step your mouthpiece up and you would get full cooperation.
Stop the cap.
Stop trying to compare yourself to a Future and a Russell.
No, sweetheart, the problem is that there was nothing wrong with those guys, and Becky, Maria, and Chun-Li are the only ones to acknowledge that. See, Becky ain't gonna get online and call somebody corny for being a gentleman on the first date.
I went on a first date. And when I opened the door, my man was at my front door. And I was like, oh, like, right? And then he hit me with the Rico. He pulled the flowers out. And I was like, wow, this is different, right? So I'm not even paying attention. I brush past this, trying to walk down the steps and get to the door, right? He opened my car door. I get inside. He closed the door. I immediately went to my group chat. It's weird. He technically did everything that we be saying we be wanting. In my mind, instinctively, my first thought was he corny.
Chun-Li ain't breaking up with her boyfriend because her and her mama became groupies at a Lil Durk concert.
Lil Durk.
And finally, Maria ain't getting online complaining about how her man starts living his best life after he gets with other races of women.
Daddy. In Colombia we say papacito.
Papi.
Papacito.
Papacito.
Right, I understand everyone's got a preference, right? Some people like to date people with children. Some people like to date people without, okay? I get it. But I feel when we get to a certain age, can people still have those preferences? For example, say men over 35, can they still have a preference to date a woman that doesn't have kids? Because not all, but most 35 plus women might have children, 1 or 2 or 3 children. Like, we've lived life. We might have a marriage behind us, couple relationships, couple baby daddies. Like, it happens.
No, queen, a couple baby daddies don't just happen. That's a character flaw and one that men shouldn't tolerate.
So is it really fair for a guy in his late 30s to expect to find a woman without children? Or should he kind of take what he's given? What do you think?
One of the worst things to ever happen to modern society is single mothers. And if there's anything worse than a single mother, it's a man that takes her serious. Fact. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And she proved that she can't pick a proper man. But she can destroy a family.
Yep.
And the type of dude that's fool enough to ignore proof is the type of dude that a chick like that would choose.
Slow it down.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
And she proved that she can't pick a proper man.
Damn. Stop him.
I know that this is self-sabotage, but sometimes when a guy asks me a question and I can feel in the air that he wants me to sell myself, I say the craziest thing I can think of in my head and I try to go so off script. Like yesterday, a guy asked me, what is my toxic trait? Unprompted, out of nowhere, just trying to pivot the conversation in a way that I felt like he was trying to make me sell myself to him. So I was like, my toxic trait...
Actually, don't tell me. Okay, just tell me real quick.
...is that I like to use men.
I like to use men.
Bitch.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I can't help myself. Because in that moment, they either want me to say something that I don't realize is a red flag and hit me with the gotcha, or I feel like they want me to try to sell myself as somebody who's likable and somebody who's trying to be their girlfriend or wifey material, you know? And yeah, I had fun. I had fun giving that stupid ass but genuine answer.
Is this the maturity that these older women are supposed to have? Is this how adults handle the courting process? We all know she wouldn't have said that dumb shit if she actually liked the guy. And that dude dodged the bullet. And what's more is she exposed a Jezebel secret.
What you talking about, Willis?
See, if a Jezebel likes you, she'll use Machiavellian manipulation to get you to like her back and start investing. They masquerade as good women suppressing their Jezebelian nature until they don't like you no more.
He ain't lying.
Fellas, this is why I keep telling y'all to watch these videos on how you can identify if your girl is secretly a Jezebel. Part 3 coming soon.
But wait!
Being neurodivergent is a struggle. So you can't date a broke man because that's struggle number 2. You can only have one struggle, okay? And your struggle is already the fact that you're neurodivergent.
I literally say this all the time and it just pisses men off. But the reality is if you have a partner who has ADHD or autism, it's not just a quirk that you like. They also have much higher needs in comparison to someone who's neurotypical. And for neurodivergent women, it is much harder to fulfill that quote-unquote housewife role because of the fact that you're neurodivergent, and they don't seem to understand that.
You liar!
I try to explain to them that if I'm married, I will not be doing all the cooking and cleaning.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I will not be doing all the cooking and cleaning.
Next.
Bye, Felicia.
I will literally crash out. I will burn out. I'm not neurotypical. I can't fucking handle it. I need to be taken care of. I'm so sorry. I need someone to clean for me. I need you to get a maid.
Hell no!
Otherwise, my mental capacity is going to be so low that every time you come home, I'm going to crash out on you. I'm going to have a meltdown, 100%.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
Oh my god, or when I talk about the topic of birth or having children, one, if you're neurodivergent, you're probably more paranoid about a lot of the risks that you might be subjected to in having children. And that is me. I am literally like, it's obsessive and it's compulsive. It's an issue for me. I actually have a genuine paranoid fear of having birth. And because of that, I have a lot of expectations I want to meet when it comes to my medical needs when I'm giving birth. And the only way I'd be able to fulfill that is if I had a partner with enough money to give me those resources so that I prevent any tearing, any harm to my body, any medical complication. I think a lot of neurodivergent people in general just have a lot of medical anxiety to begin with. I think a lot of neurodivergent people in general just have a lot of medical anxiety to begin with, and they like to take those precautions.
Gotcha, bitch.
And then second of all, when it comes to the topic of having children, those first 1 to 3 years when you have that baby, holy overstimulation. Like, I try to explain to men that I would prefer to have a partner who works a remote job or is making some form of passive income so he can stay home with me those first years after I give birth to the child so I can have fucking help. Either that or he helps me by getting a night nurse and like a maid and things of that nature. And they're like, oh my god, you're so lazy. No, I'm not lazy. I'm gonna crash out on the child if you don't give me those resources.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Like, leaving that responsibility to me and me alone is going to be so overwhelming and it's going to feel so neglectful that I'm probably going to start developing postpartum depression. I'm going to start tweaking out on the kid and you.
You going to jail. You're going to jail.
As someone who's neurodivergent, it is much better to have a partner who has money so they can give you the resources and support that you need in every facet of your life. It's not, oh, you can't have children before y'all start being ableist.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Stop the cap.
It's just we need the proper support so that we don't feel overwhelmed. And unfortunately, typically the only way we can get that form of support or reassurance is through money. So yes, if you're autistic or you have ADHD, please listen to me. Having a partner who doesn't have money is gonna ruin you. Not just from the things that I've mentioned, but it's gonna be very hard for them to show you love. It's gonna be very hard for them to show you love. And take care of you in the ways that you need to be taken care of, because like I said, we are much higher needs in comparison to someone who's neurotypical, and oftentimes they're unfortunately just not going to be able to fulfill that.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
We should give praise to TikTok for being the platform where the worst go to publicly hang theyself. She admits that she's likely to spaz out not only on you, but your kids, and then blame a mental condition for the reason she did it. Listen, fellas, the disability check they get ain't worth that bullshit.
You one crazy ass bitch.
Plus, she's just a Jezebel and full of crap, because if what she said is true, then why do they recommend pets or puppies for high-functioning neurodivergent children?
That's a good question.
Baby girl, just keep it real. You a barely autistic escort looking for a sugar daddy you find attractive enough to marry.
You're gonna expire before the age of 25. By the age of 35, literally no man's gonna want you. Let's talk about
39, never married, and no kids, and everything that she says in that video is spot on. If you are over 35 and seeing this, you are not too late. I manifested my man at the ripe age of 38 years old, and I want you to know there's still good men out here for you too. I love you so much.
Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Yes, queen.
Key takeaways: childless, attractive, never been married, and not overweight. And did you see her personality? She looks sweet and happy to have a man. But if you a Jezebel or have a Jezebelian past, you more likely to end up like this.
I just came to the realization that, like, if you're 40 years old, you're fucked. Like, you're never gonna find love. Like, oh my God. Sorry, I woke up like really, really emotional because I was married for, oh my God, I need to stop. I was married for over 20 years, and like, I was so used to being a wife. Like, I loved being married, you know? Like, I love being a wife. I love having like that one person I love.
Who filed for divorce? Who filed for divorce?
It was a mutual decision.
Who filed for divorce?
It was mutual.
Who filed for divorce? Who filed for divorce? Who filed for divorce?
I can't necessarily.
Who filed for divorce?
I did.
Thank you.
Coming home to and like venting all my shit to. And now it's like, yeah, you date people and like sparks fly, and then it's just like, oh, I found better, you know? I think some of you guys missed my story time because, I don't know, I posted the dumbest video of me at Home Depot. It didn't go viral. But like I was talking to my ex again, and there was a TikTok, I had a fan on here, a TikTok follower that messaged me, and she said, hey, I started talking to this guy and I noticed on his Instagram, like those highlight reels, you were in one of his highlight reels, like you guys made a TikTok together. And I was like, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend, because we were like trying to work things out. It was long distance, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, we're talking. He said he was single. And I'm like,
Buy a dog, die alone.
You gonna learn today.
I'm not even crying about that. I think I'm just more sad about the fact that, like, it's impossible. It's impossible to find someone that you will 100% trust. And part of it has to do with me too, because of my insecurities.
So don't worry about getting older, and you actually get more options as you get older.
It's so accessible. Social media, talking to other women. Why do I still have my fucking seatbelt on? Anyway, I need to do a story time. I just had a vent. I fucking hate people who cry on here. But I hope you guys are having a good day.
This is how they look when they realize they ended a relationship that wasn't that bad. This is how they look when they realize they can't do better than they ex. This is how they look when they thought the grass was greener on the other side. This is how they look when they realize those single friends and family members was actually wrong. This is how they look when they listen to Jezebels on TikTok and trick off their relationships. This is how they look when they listen to snakes and ruin their spot in the Garden of Eden.
Was that the fruit you ate to betray the world? No. Good guess, though. Good guess. First woman to ever do it. Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, beloved. How was it coming from Adam's rib? It was really nice. Because I had never been alive before. And Adam was super poetic. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I knew he was in love, and I knew he was married. So we started being fruitful. How was your first period? Oh my God, y'all. So I didn't call it a period back then. I called it losing my insides, because I didn't know what was going on. And I thought I was going to die, but I didn't die. And it was a lot to navigate, especially in the garden. But, you know, y'all have painkillers. All I had was my conscience. Then it came back the next month. I'm like, what kind of sorcery? But then I remember I was part of the why you wearing leaves in 2024. Y'all got jokes this generation. This is actually the Eden special. What was you doing talking to snakes in the first place? You know what? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that today. How you turn it? Adam, how you turn this off?